Hey, welcome to Have Your Best Week Ever, and hopefully you are having a great weekend because we just want to share a little bit with you to help you have your best week. I just want to welcome everyone to the broadcast tonight, and hopefully as you begin to think about what are you going to do this week, you truly begin to plan your week out, and then as you plan your week out, you really go about working your plan. And I think that's the key thing that we all struggle to do from time to time because we get caught up in this busy thing that we call life. And I don't think it has to be that way. And have I fully figured it out? No, I haven't. I don't think anyone has. And that's the great thing about it. And the great things about being humans that we have choices. And because of that, we have to utilize systems, rituals, and habits to help us maximize what we do on a daily basis. So welcome over to Have Your Best Week Ever. Hey, this is a weekly call that we do. I call it a call. It's a training. It's something we do to help others grow and help ourselves grow. As you're listening in to this call, I want to challenge you to begin to teach others and share with others, because when you do that, it helps you to grow. And there's several ways, and when I say several ways that does is, number one, you got to prepare. I had to prepare notes and do some study and researching and just go through and reflect prior to this call. And then now I have to deliver the content. And in delivering the content, there'll be things that happen, things that I say that I didn't prepare for because it flowed through me, or it was a combination of my experiences and my training and my learning. And then thirdly, when I reflect back over the call, then I'm going to learn even more. So I want to challenge you to do that more in your business and more in your life. And the more you do that, you're going to find that you're going to learn and grow a lot more. Hey, but tonight we just want to share some things that we've picked up from some people and have begun to implement in our lives that I call habits. And I'm trying to develop those habits into true rituals, to where it's something that I do consistently, constantly and consistently on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis. And so we're going to go over those things, and I'm going to make sure that we post the YouTube video tonight, so you have a chance to go back and listen to it. And there are a few tools that realize I didn't have here in my home office that we wanted to upload into the Facebook group, so you'll be able to go to Have Your Best Week Ever and jump on and grab those. But I'm going to go ahead and get started tonight, because I always like to try to keep this call under 30 minutes, so you can just invest a little bit of time, 30 out of those 1,440 that you have today, so you can have your best week ever. That's what we work to do, and hopefully we're able to do that as we move forward on a weekly basis. So I want to get over to the PowerPoint here. Let's see, here we are. And let's get her going. Like I said, this is Have Your Best Week Ever, and really what we're talking about is rituals that will help you grow. I mean, rituals to help you grow. That's what we're about, is helping business owners in particular, but leaders grow. Because all business owners are leaders, and if you're a leader, you're looking to grow. You're looking to continuously, how can you grow yourself? How can you grow your business? How can you grow your team? And that's what we want to help you do. And I believe, and I know that some of these rituals, not believe, I know that these rituals will help you if you choose to implement them. Now, the thing about it is, as I go over these rituals and go over things, you're going to say, hey, I can't do it exactly that way. And that's fine. But you want to go in and modify things and change things to fit your system, your way of doing things. And when you do that, you're going to find that you will have a great impact on your own life and on the life of your teams. So let's get started. Hey, first of all, I'm going to talk about monthly rituals. So as you begin a new month, or you start to wind down the current month that you're in, I want you to begin to look at a couple areas that you work to grow yourself. And by doing it every month, it really gives you a benchmark, as well as it helps to measure your productivity. It helps to measure your productivity. So first of all, I would like to ask you to, and challenge you to, develop a monthly theme. Now, one of the things that a monthly theme does, when you develop a monthly theme, it actually taps into your creativity. It really causes you to pause and say, what's important to me in this upcoming month? Where am I at currently? And then it's even more dynamic if you do it with your team. So you want to develop a monthly theme. And this theme is really kind of a guideline of how you're going to operate this month. What is it that you're going to do this month that's a little different? It's in alignment with what you do. It's in alignment with your business. And I think that's very key. Now, I was having an interesting conversation, and I brought up something that I had heard from Bishop Jakes. You know, he said people ask him, how do you do all the things that you do? And he said, because they're in alignment. They're in alignment with each other. They're in alignment with his purpose. So I want to challenge you to develop a monthly theme that's in alignment. You know, this month coming up, my theme for the month is watering the relationships that matter the most. And what that means for me is really focusing on key relationships, both business relationships that matter the most. Because when you look at business, the 80-20 rule is almost always in effect. So when I look at it, 20% of my activity, 20% of my business, I got it a little wrong there. 80% of my revenue is governed by about 20% of my clients. And in most business, that's the case. So I really want to water those relationships that matter the most in business. Personal life. What relationships do I want to step back in and really focus on and spend time with? Which ones that really matter the most? You know, which one of those relationships? You know, and if they're true personal relationships, they all should matter. So I want to challenge you to really look at developing a monthly theme. I'll be excited to know what your monthly theme is, and we're going to post ours in our Facebook group and send it out to you, and hopefully it will begin to cause you to think about it yourself. Next is goal planning. Yeah, I said a 2x4. So as you sit there and really decide to work on your goals, you want to revisit those big goals for the year and say, am I on target? Am I on target? And I suggest that at the beginning of each month, or for the beginning of each month, 5-6 days out of the month, go ahead and start that process. And when I say that process, I challenge you to do a process that we use called a 2x4. And what the 2x4 is simply taking that big goal you have and then identifying 2 reasons why it's important. You know, 2 reasons why you want to make significant impact on it this month. I want to focus on the month. This is monthly. And then identify 2 people that are going to help you this month make these things happen. Who are 2 people that are going to help make this happen? And then, as we said, 2x4, if you think about a 2x4, it's called a stud. You know, it's utilized to build homes, and it's the most populous board in a home. But so 2 times 2 is equal to what? 4. And I want you to write 4 specific things that you're going to do this month. That's right, 4 things that you're going to do this month to make this big goal happen, to be in alignment with your goals, to be on target for your goals. And I'm an acronym person, as you guys know, those that know me. The ones that don't, you'll learn that very quickly. What stands for we have action to take? So you want to write 4 things that you're going to get done in this month, not just 2000 and whatever year it is, 2016 in the case of this recording, but you really want to focus on that intermediate to short term. The next thing is sales overviews. You want to go back and revisit your numbers. When I say revisit your numbers, you really want to look at how well you're doing compared to your yearly goals. Are you behind? Are you ahead? Are right on target? And I challenge you that if it's anything then way ahead, put the pedal to the metal. Identify ways to accelerate. That's right, accelerate. Especially if you're in a valley, you want to accelerate through the valley. And that is the challenge we have as business owners. We don't often pull back and look at our numbers. So you want to look at your numbers and say, what is it that I must do to get on target? Now let's break it down to some weekly rituals. These are things that, to me, you should be doing every week. And because you're listening at this call, weekly planning has to be front of mind. We use a system called top of the week planning system, or top of the life weekly planning system, which we truly believe is if you plan properly every week, the weeks will take care of the months. So you want to have your best week ever. And that's how we came up with the name for this call. So I want to challenge you to go to thegrowthplanner.com. That's right, thegrowthplanner.com. You can download a copy of the full growth planner, or you can go over to Have Your Best Week Ever Facebook group and download the version that's in there, which is a weekly layout. But at Have Your Best Week Ever, you can download a full monthly version. But now, as you begin to do that, there are several things that you walk through, and I won't go through those things, but you can actually go back through a couple calls that we had and reference that material. But it's very key that you plan your week. I always say that if you don't plan your week, someone else will give you a week plan. So I challenge you to go and plan your week. It's your week. What are you going to do to make it a dynamic week? A week in which you grow very significantly. And you think about growing within a week. A week is not a long time frame, but it is long enough to have an impact. It can change the direction of your business. If you do enough this week, you can see a reversal in any negative trends that you may have. And you can see acceleration in the positive things that are going on. So you want to invest time every week to focus on having your best week ever. And that's what weekly planning is about. So use a system. I recommend the Top of Life weekly planning system, but I challenge you to use a system to plan that week. Here's another thing that a lot of people laugh when I say it. I mean, it sounds crazy, but really, if you plan your weekly wardrobe out, you literally save 10 to 15, some people 30 minutes a day. And what I mean is simply just looking at your schedule and saying, what am I going to wear every day? And laying it out. If you're a man, lay it out to the ties, lay it out to the accessories, and just put it by days in your closet. Then what happens is you'll find out as you go through your morning rituals and your daily routines, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, you really will flow through that second phase. You'll flow through that phase of actually getting dressed. No hesitation. It happens. You're on to the next event. Also, I challenge you to, just keep maybe a half a change of clothes at your office. I say half a change. For men's or ladies, you may keep a shirt or a blouse or a tie just for those meetings to where you would be appropriately dressed, or a blazer hanging behind your door. So I challenge you to really plan your week out on what you're going to wear. Now, here's one that I'm working on now that's a challenge for me. Those of you that know me personally, I'm actually have some lifestyle change goals, some weight goals that I'm working on and working to change. So with that said, it's critical that I plan my meals out. I'm out about a lot, so a lot of times I find myself in situations where the food that's served is contradictory to where I'm trying to grow to, or in this case, reduce down to. So I must begin to plan even more. So like this week here, I will effectively lay my days out and saying, here's the times that I'm going to eat, and here's what I'm going to eat each day. Even though I do have a couple meetings at restaurants, I'm going to have to pull back and say, hey, either something very light or nothing at all. So I have to make that call. Next thing is sales. Every week, look at your sales. A lot of times people only want to focus on the month. I challenge you to develop a way in which you focus on your sales weekly, because focusing on them weekly allows you to to really ramp up activity without having to make drastic changes. A lot of times businesses that track sales by the month literally go back into towards the end of the month. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of activity trying to get back on track. And if you're really good, you can get down to such as one industry, the casino industry. They literally track sales at a minimum by the hour, but they're looking at it minute by minute. They know what the play is on the floor at any given time. So I want to challenge you to track your sales weekly. I'm going to give you a couple key areas to look at, evaluate, and measure. Number one, you want to look at what we call BGCs, those business growth conversations, those business growth calls, those business growth emails, those conversations you're having with your team, the conversations you're having with your prospects and your current clients, conversations you're having with your referral partners. So we call those business growth conversations, conversations that you're going to have to help you grow your business. Then you want to look at converting. What's your conversion rates? How well are you converting? And then that leads to the last thing to look at is collections, the cash, ka-ching, credit cards, swiped. However you're taking it in, you want to be able to measure the sales. And when I say sales, you could actually have a sale, but then on the other side, you want to make sure you capture collections, what's actually being deposited and the revenue that you have on your side of the table. Next thing I want to talk about is time blocking. Is effectively each week creating your ideal week. And it shouldn't change a whole lot from week to week. And we have a example of a time blocking form or document that we created inside of Have Your Best Week Ever. Just go inside Facebook group and that will be there. But literally you can measure and track what you should be doing every hour, every quarter of an hour, really. And then you want to say, this is my ideal week. And next to your ideal week, you want to put what actually happens. So as you're writing and time logging in your schedule, you can go back and say, am I on target? Am I doing what I should be doing? Or sometimes throughout the day, there's chaos that happens. And for you to get back on target, it simply is just going back to look at your ideal week and maybe just jumping right back on target. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and we want to get into the daily rituals because daily growth is the most important thing. How do you grow daily? So I want to start out with bookending your days. When I say bookending your days, it's mean really creating some solitude to start the morning, to start your day, and to end your day. And typically, the beginning and the end of your day are the things you can control the most. And I say that because, some people say, well, I have all these things in the morning. Well, you can actually get up 15, 30 minutes early. You can train your body to do that consistently and have that time for yourself just to do some things, and some things that you might consider as, finding time to meditate. Maybe time where you get up and actually do some content writing. Maybe reading a book, reading the Bible. So all of these are some things that you might consider doing as part of your bookend. And then in the evening, reevaluating and reflecting on the day and touching up on your schedule for the next day. Those are some examples of some great things to do that we call bookending. The next thing I want to challenge you, if you're in a role that you look to grow business, if you're building your business, or you're a business owner, you're in direct sales, or you're a salesperson, fund development, whatever title you might use is first and tens. And you heard us mention business growth conversations. So you want to schedule at least 10 of those. I challenge you to schedule 10 of those in a day, every day, and block off time on your calendar, on your ideal week, in which you schedule those calls. Now, today, you want to write down the 10 calls that you're going to make tomorrow. And during that prescribed time, you literally sit down and make the calls. Sometimes they are emails, but calls are the most effective. And then I mentioned as part of your book ending, but it also can be mixed out throughout the day is doing affirmations. You know, one way, there are a lot of ways to do affirmations. You can read pre-written affirmations. You can affirm things. One of the things I truly believe is that I ams are really it speaks to the future you. And then meditation, it allows you to get in touch with the current you and allows God in that to speak to us. So I want to challenge you to identify time in which you can do that. Great time to do that again is in the morning. Spend time in the morning, in the quietness of the morning before everything gets going. Your mind's not clouded. Those are great times to get that started and implement that and keep doing it, and it will become a habit. And then lastly, but not least, is those top rocks. Identifying the top things that you want to get done today. I challenge you to look at 5. What are 5 things that you're going to get done today? And when I say get done is that you may not be the person to actually do all the things, but you're responsible for them. Seeing them happen, making sure that they transcribe and really move forward towards your goals. So I want to challenge you to think about those top rocks. That's what we call them, those big rocks, those boulders that will fill your jar of life. Another thing, people always say, well, Howard, how can we best stay connected with you? I get that all the time. A lot of times on these calls, I don't like to market a lot because this is really about you and helping you have your best week. But tonight, I just wanted to put it on the screen. Simply go over to haveyourbestweekever.com. Always, you can register for the calls and you will be on it. Once you register, you should get the emails every week reminding you, but it doesn't hurt to register again. Then also you can jump over to our private Facebook group. Secondly, we do a weekly radio show. We're changing that name to Grow Your Business Radio, and that will be up soon, but the show is still going on. And that's at WTQT.org. You can go online. If you're in the Baton Rouge area, you can listen at 106.1, or you can download the TuneIn app and listen to us online at WTQT. And then at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, we do a call. It's a hot seat call. Kind of unique, and it really challenges us to operate in our gifting, which is helping business owners see things differently in a very short time frame. So all you do is go over to 15K in 45 minutes to get information on that. And then always follow us on Facebook, Business Growth Dynamics Consulting. We would love for you to follow us there. And then follow us on YouTube. Same thing, Business Growth Dynamics Consulting. And you'll be updated as we upload new videos. And our goal is to do at least 2 per week. And then last but not leastly, you can download a copy of the Growth Planner that we talked about. Just simply go over to thegrowthplanner.com and download a copy of that document. It'll be something that will help you serve your week and have your best week ever. So I want to challenge you to really think about what you're doing to grow on a daily basis. What are you doing to grow on a weekly basis? And what are you doing to grow on a monthly basis? What rituals that you have that are serving you better than what you're currently doing? So in closing, I want to leave this with you. Remember, the goals that you set, you're not that person. So in order to become that person, you must do something differently. You must grow into a new person to achieve new goals. And one way to do that is to set new rituals and develop new habits. So the things that I share with you are some that will serve you well and help you to grow and be more. Take care. God bless. And as always, in closing, I love to remind you, be the best you possible, because guess what? Everybody else is taken.